This is Richard Werner, the top academic scholar in the world on central banking. He wrote the book and did the documentary, The Princes of the Yen, about the Japanese central bank. Here he is in Malmo, Sweden in May.
The nature of this CBDC, what is it actually going to look like? They never talk about that. But I heard one European central banker tell me what it's going to look like. He saw it. He was invited to one of the old central banks in Europe that are very much promoting this. And they showed him. And, he's a top, executive director of another central bank in Europe. And there's no reason to believe that he was telling me a story. And it was around this large and would be implanted under your skin.
So basically, you cannot get into the Whole Foods market in Washington, D.C. unless you scan your own QR code and they track everything you're doing. And this is the future of all grocery stores. So if you want more information on this, I'll get it to you, but this is the future of all grocery stores.
Kahalayam, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to you brothers laboring and pushing this word in truth and sincerity and with charity. I'm the brother Abraham from the camp here in GMS Chicago, coming to do another quick lesson through the Holy Spirit, Lord willing, and be edifying. And as you just saw from the clip I just played, the MOTB, the mark of the beast, is around the corner. Okay, this is nothing new we brought out, and everybody gets tired of hearing us say it constantly, but it's our job to constantly warn of the destruction that's coming, of the evil that's coming. Okay, and it's our job to do that so that we can wipe the blood off our hands and wake up those who are meant to wake up, okay, which is ultimately the elect. And the rest who don't wake up, they were just made to be destroyed in this nuclear fire that's getting ready to come. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off with spelled it wrong, Salakia. This is Ezekiel 33:3. And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. When what comes to pass? When these prophecies that the Lord's prophets have broken down to you, showed you, and revealed to you what will happen in the future, right? Because that's what prophesy mean, is to say before, to show you things that which must surely come to pass. And what will come to pass is the mark of the beast, for that Revelation 13:16. All right, that's an important part of this book and of the remaining prophecies that have yet to come to pass, but we see them. All right, we see them here. Okay, and it's pretty much already here, just not mandated on a draconian level. See, when it gets mandated on a draconian level, then it will come to pass. Okay, but right now it's just the gradualism part, getting people used to these things and conditions. Okay, that's how they've always been doing it, and that's why more and more things are becoming digital. all right, a new digital ID system, right, where it has not just your ID or your driver's license, but your medical records, criminal records, things like that. Okay. Um, and then you have the false prophets that are saying that it's not the mark of the beast, but it's saying it's some other thing, whatever it is that they're saying. Okay, which the scriptures talk about that too. That there shall be many false prophets. Okay, in the last days. All right, but hey, the lost sheep are gonna hear the voice of the Lord. Okay, and that's ultimately what this is about. Is the lost sheep. All right, which the elect at one point were all lost, but thanks to the gathering of this word, which is being done via his prophets, call Shai for that, they will wake up, all right, and not one of them shall perish. All right, so let's get Matthew's 24, and let me see, let me look for the verse. I don't know the verse exactly. Okay, this is Matthew's 24. Let me gotta start up Matthew's 24 and 32. It says, "Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender, and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh." Right? Just as it says in Matthew's 16th chapter, you can tell the weather by how the sky looks, but you can't tell what times we're living in, right? When you see the signs of the end, right? So same thing here, right? You see the fig tree when it's tender is bringing out the leaves, you know summer is coming, right? So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. What is near? These prophecies, these signs, which are tokens, tokens in which we will be able to tell time. And the time says that what? It's the time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Okay? It says, "Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all things be fulfilled." Right? Everything got to be fulfilled before this generation shall pass. "Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only." Right? And we don't have a calendar with the date marked and the time marked of when the Lord's coming. Nobody knows, not even Yahweh Shai knows. Only the Father only. Right? "But as the days of Noah were, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came, and took them all away, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be." Right? So just as in these times are, that's how it was during Noah's time. Because Noah was prophesying for about 100 years, prophesying that it will rain. Because at that time it hasn't rained before. So people thought he was crazy. Right? Like, that's not going to happen. You've been saying that for 100 years. You've been saying that for 50 years. You've been saying that for 20 years. Right? So ain't nobody gonna believe him. He looks crazy. And what, we sound crazy too. We're saying the Lord's gonna come back and redeem his people. His people that are considered to be the base, the lowly, the foolish, the weak of this world, right? We don't have status like Kanye West, Kyrie Irving, just throwing them in the mix because they've been went viral over the last couple months. But yeah, people stop and try and listen to them, but nobody's listening to his prophets, right? It's because we're not what people picture in their head as a prophet, right? We're not in a suit and tie. We're not rich and famous, okay? So they look at us as regular, ordinary men, and they see us for that and nothing more, right? But that's why the foolish and the weak are confounding the wise and the mighty, okay? And what we're saying that the Lord's gonna come back, deliver his people in spaceships, in UFOs, right? That America's gonna be destroyed. People don't believe that. People think America's gonna go on forever. People have hope that America will go on forever. And they don't want to see it destroyed. They want to continue here. Alright, so when they hear us speak these things, they either abhor it, they hate it. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth his ears. Right? They cover their ears, trying to not listen to this, because just as for us, the ear trieth words as the mouth tastes its meat, so it is for them. They don't like the way this sounds, so they spit this out, right? They want to hear prosperity. America's going to continue forever. You're going to be rich and famous in a couple years. Everything's going to be fine. The sweet talk. But what? We can't put sugar on shit, right? We got to give you the full truth. We got to give you the 100% truth. The bitter and the sweet. The good and the bad. And it's going to get a whole lot worse before it gets a whole lot better. See, we could talk about the good, and we do talk about the good, right? The kingdom of heaven, and how we're all going to be righteous, peace on earth, and all those things. But, we still have to get through what we're about to go through. Jacob's trouble, World War III, the MOTB, the hour of temptation. We still have to go through those things. And the scriptures say, this is 1 Peter 4:18. Let me start up verse 17. It says, "For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God?" Right? So judgment must begin at the house of God with his people, the Israelites. Right? And we're seeing judgment being done upon the Israelites, the house of God, for them being disobedient. Okay? So how much is going to be worse for them that now obey the gospel? And if the righteous shall scarcely be saved, that means just barely. It says, "Where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?" Right? If the righteous are barely, scarcely, have much work, with difficulty, hardly, very rarely, not easily. Just as it says in Acts 14:22. They gave me a precept here. Acts 14:22, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of God. And this is Paul confirming, right, exhorting them after he just got stoned, man. After he just got stoned, took him out outside the city. They were standing around him. They were like, this man dead. Then he just came up and told them that. You know, and the servant is not greater than his Lord. You know, if they persecuted Yahushua, they're going to persecute us too. Right? But we have no need to fear because the Most High is with us. It's part of the prophecy, it's part of the plan. You know, we just have to hold our faith. Continue in the faith. Right? That's what these small little battles, ever since you've woken up to the knowledge, truth, and understanding. Along the way, you've been having little battles that are supposed to build up your faith up until the main battle, which is that hour of temptation, that time of Jacob's trouble, right? And that from all your little battles up until that point should have built you up in the faith to trust in the Lord, you know, not panic, not worry too much, not have that fear of man. Okay. And oh, I think I was already here. This is 1 Peter 4:7. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. And yeah, the end of all things is here and it's at hand. So be ye therefore sober, right? And not necessarily doesn't mean not drinking, but being in your right state of mind. And that's being meditating on this word day and night, as the scriptures say in Psalms. And as it says in Sirach 39, occupied in prophecies, because the spirit of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy, right? And watch unto prayer. We should be praying every day, watching for the signs every day, and praying without ceasing, man. We're almost out of here. But I'm going to go ahead and there, Lord willing, this video was edifying. As always, all honor, glory, and praises goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Until the next time, Shalom.